Rightio, we're pulled into TORQIT HQ in Newcastle. Put the Beach to Bush 79 over the dyno and get some before and after figures to show you guys what the TORQIT performance products can do to your vehicle. Rightio, here we are with Nick from TORQIT, and we're obviously got the truck on the dyno at the moment, so we're going to get some figures on before and after. So what we've done, we've put the original map back in, the Toyota map back in, and then, so what are we going to do from there?
So we'll do a couple of runs with the stock file back in the car. Although this car obviously has bigger tyres, this will give us a bit of an idea of what the vehicle will run stock at the wheels. We'll do a couple of runs, we'll have a look at the data.
Which will probably be pretty sluggish with those 35s.
Quite possibly, yeah. It probably won't give the best results, but what we'll do then after that, we'll then put our TORQIT tune into the vehicle and we'll repeat the process, have the same strapping down and everything so the car doesn't move, do another couple of runs, and then we'll go from there.
All right, let's get into it.
But this is obviously just comparing the two runs I've just done stock-wise. So you've got both power practically identical, 81.2 on the first one, 82 kilowatt on the second run.
Yep.
That is at the rear wheel. Down here you've got your torque.
Yep.
I probably started the run a little bit with too much load on the start there, but you can just see how it's pretty plateaued out there, and it's, you know, at the end of the run where you're peaking your power, you're only running about 235 newton meters of torque at the rear wheels. But you know, for a stock car with the amount of weight and the big tyres and stuff like that, it's still not too bad. But what we'll do now is we'll put the TORQIT tune into it, do a couple other runs, and see what we get. Yeah.
So what's standard now for from stock?
So
115, is that right?
So that'll probably be at the engine. So if you're looking at power runs, say obviously people look online and stuff like that, and you see the power, that's practically back of the engine, so at the flywheel.
Oh right, okay.
From there. So that does obviously. That doesn't take into consideration your gearbox, your tail shaft, your diff, and then obviously tyres. But at the wheels currently, this is as it sits. Now every dyno does obviously read different, but what's good about this is we're leaving it on the dyno as it sits. Nothing's changing. We'll now put our TORQIT tune into it. And then we can see the differences it makes.
Okay, so, cool. Let's do that. Rightio. So now we've just put the TORQIT Module Map tune back in, and now we're going to see what sort of figures we can get on these 35-inch tyres. Looking forward to that. So we've done our second run with our tune in it, so explain where we're at. What do we get?
The blue line here obviously is our before run, so this is Toyota factory tune. Our red line is our TORQIT tune. So you can see here where it's peaking on the factory tune, there's still quite a considerable amount of difference in power. But if we're going for the peak range in our TORQIT tune, which is early in the RPM range as well, which is obviously going to be better for us, drivability wise, you can see there's about 50 kilowatt difference there in power itself. Now, if we're looking at torque at that same area there, it's about 130, 140 newton meters of torque difference-wise there. And you can see, obviously, with the TORQIT tune, the vehicle's not going to have to work so hard to get to where it needs to be. And the drivability-wise, it's obviously going to be a lot better.
Okay.
Especially for towing and everything like that.
Well, that's pretty much, if I'm going from 4th to 5th, up a hill, I'm round about the 2,800 to 3,000 before I change. So that sort of shows there the difference that I have in that area, and that's where you want that towing torque. Well, I feel anyway with this setup. But yeah, no, that shows a hell of a difference.
It's quite a considerable difference, especially when you're looking at the peak of our tune compared to where it is on the stock run. Obviously, it's peaking back here, but you know, there's still quite a considerable difference in power, even at the peak of the the factory tune compared to our tune.
But you're very rarely in that RPM anyway.
Exactly. That's quite high, especially for a diesel, around the 3,500 RPM range. But, you know, to have a look at this here in the middle, it's quite a large difference in the power you're making at that RPM range.
Yeah.
Even through here.
So back in cruising speed, like I'm cruising around about the 2,000, 1,800, 2,000.
Yep.
So what sort of differences do I have there if I'm cruising at 100?
So if we're at 2,500 RPM here, which is about 2520 is what it's saying there, that's your differences there. So 118.4 kilowatt
Nearly
on
double.
our TORQUIT tune. Yeah, practically almost just under double the power. So quite a considerable amount.
And that's where I find, especially towing the van, is that the usable area is that I need is around the 2,000 to 3,000 RPM. So we're sort of nearly double in that area.
Exactly right. And even around that area with your torque as well. So, okay, the peak torque on our TORQUIT tune is here, but you look at the differences there, 478, 479 newton meters compared to 258. It's a massive, massive difference in torque as well. So now doing these tunes, obviously we're not pushing them to the point of where they're going to break. These are safe tunes. This is going to make the car more reliable, easier to tow with, easier to drive when you're not towing as well. And actually, you get better fuel economy and stuff like this out of doing these tunes rather than this, just purely because the vehicle doesn't have to work so hard to get to the speeds where it's at, and once it's there, it's cruising. It doesn't have to work hard to get up hills. It doesn't have to, you know, load the vehicle as much. It's all around better for the car.
So the tune we have in this vehicle is to suit a 4-inch lift, 35-inch tyres. It's a J-Max system, and to tow a 3.5 tonne caravan. So this is the figures we're getting from that. And believe it or not, my fuel figures that I'm getting is the average around about the 20 to 21 litres per 100. That's actually going through terrain as well, so up and down mountains. If I'm on the highway, I can get down to 19 litres per 100. So again, this is absolutely, you know, you can see the differences there with the TORQUIT tune. And also DPF included. So I haven't taken the DPF out of this. So it's not a DPF delete vehicle. Wanted to keep it legal. And there's still the figures
and
that we're
this
getting.
is on stock turbo, stock
turbo,
air filter, stock intercooler.
Yeah. So we've got the
DPF back
3.5 inch TORQUIT exhaust. We do have a pedal torque in there as well, but that just complements the tune. But we're just about to do a Airbox as well. Rightio. So this is the standard Toyota Airbox. We're going to pull this one out and put a TORQUIT one in, and that's going to give us a little bit more airflow, and then we're going to stick it back on the dyno and see what changing the Airbox can do for a little bit more torque and a bit more power. So so far we're pretty stoked with the numbers, so let's just see if we can get a little bit more out of it. That's it, the Airbox is out. So, the new TORQUIT box is going in. Alright, so there's the TORQUIT one versus the standard one. So this will have the new 300 series air filter in it.
More air in.
Better for it. Rightio, now what we've done, we've put the Airbox in. Now we're just going to do a quick run with the Airbox in and see what sort of figures. So we may or may not get anything, but it'll be just interesting to know. So let's give it a go.
With that new tune in there now, you're making more power again. So another 10 kilowatt actually. To be honest, that was on the first run. Obviously everything had cooled down again, which is obviously better for us being a diesel. But yeah, I had an extra 10 kilowatts. So
is it purely just because of the Airbox?
The Airbox definitely will help. Bigger, obviously, air filter. More space, more flow. But you know, because there is obviously now the other tuner involved as well, that's where sort of a bit of both.
So between this one and that one,
that's from your old tune to your new tune.
So we do have a slight
with an Airbox as well. So there's definitely an increase. But it's just hard to say which is what from what. If it's from the tuner or if it's from the airbox. Yes, the airbox is definitely going to help, but I don't think it's going to help in 10 kilowatt.
Yeah.
You might get 5 kilowatt over an airbox sort of thing, maybe a little bit more.
Yep.
So I think the tuner definitely has helped a lot. You can also see your torque there as well.
Oh yeah.
Again, you're getting more airflow, but again, it's going to come down to what the tuner has done differently to the other tuner.
Yep.
Very, very similar in the way the boost curve works. That's just a little bit more in the mid-range.
Yep, which is good. That's what we need.
So, yeah, all in all, happy with those numbers. Even on the previous tune, I'm still happy with 122 kilowatt. Like you made 40 kilowatt, you're now making 50. So that's pretty good numbers from a car that size, with big tyres, and everything else on it. So
well, she's got a GVM of 4.2 tonne.
Exactly.
She probably weighs around about 3.9 now.
Yep.
At the moment.
Yep. So that's pretty good to see those sort of numbers, especially that sort of torque figure as well. Like you look at the difference from
look at the double
from factory to now what it is.
Yeah.
So you're making double and a bit in torque.
Yeah.
And even if you're looking at the power numbers from in that exact spot, you're making from 51 kilowatt to 115 kilowatt. So massive gains. And I mean, if you're looking at the peak of the power run, 132 kilowatt compared to 71, still a massive gain. And even in torque, okay, it's starting to come down a little bit in that rev range.
Yep.
But you're not going to need a huge amount there. You're going to need it more here.
As I said, from here onwards, you're not going to use that rev range anyway. You're normally peaking it, changing up gears.
So, pretty happy with that.
Oh yeah, no, I'm stoked. Absolutely stoked. All right,
you can see, actually it shows you on here too. So you're making peak power at 3,300 RPM on your stock.
Yep.
On your old tune, it was making peak power at 2.9, and your new tune is making peak power at 2.7. So coming in earlier, which is better. Yep. It's going to be more efficient on the road.
Perfect.
So.
Excellent. All right, well that wraps us up here at TORQIT HQ down at Newcastle, and thank you very much, Nick.
No worries.
Much appreciated.
Thanks for coming down.
All right, that's a wrap for us here. Let's get back on the road. Thanks for watching, guys, and if you have any questions regarding the TORQIT system that we run in our 79 series or any TORQIT system that you want to fit to your vehicle, please reach out to us at beach2bushaustralia.com.au or come in and see us in store at Coolum Beach on the Sunshine Coast. Thanks again, guys, and see you on the next one.